Oh, hi again. This time I'm really a messenger for others. So I have a sample of Finnish innovations in the horticultural domain to show. Hans actually asked me specifically to show where the water droplet-based dehumidifying system is in its development at the moment. So I start with that, and to make things easier for me and you as well, I will show you a video that basically shows the steps of how this system has been developed and where it is now. But before that, just to briefly to tell you that the idea in the system that has been developed by the company Novarbo and MTT's horticultural research is to use the water droplet curtain that takes away the humidity and heat from the greenhouse air, brings the water outside to the aquifer, I guess it's called, where the water cools down and then it's taken back, and so the circulation goes. So initially this was developed, but it has not gained very much popularity, and the basic reason being that it's pretty expensive investment. So there are now further developments to this system, and the video, which I hope I will be able to launch, shows you the basic steps where it is now. So just a second, I try to put it up. These moments when everything works fine when you do it with your own computer and then it doesn't. But anyway, let's have a look now. This was the initial principle of the invention. This initial system has been installed in one practical greenhouse firm who claim that it's working fine. It works very quickly. I've been in a greenhouse where it's in use, and when you stand close to it, you can actually feel the air starting to cool down in a couple of minutes when the water curtain starts to flow. And you can even feel the air moving. So. So basically with the system, the idea is that you keep the climate even temperature-wise and humidity-wise, so you don't have to open the vents. And in practice, this has been shown to work so that the vents need to be opened really little, even during the hottest days. But this is now the new version that it has been developed into. So it's basically the towers that you see here are dryers. So it's the system in smaller scale. But the principle is the same. But it's cheaper, and you need like 8 to 10 units of these towers per hectare. So this is now in a testing phase. So this is the next step of it, to make it more economic. But the idea is basically the same, removing the excess humidity and heat. And this is the grower who has been using it for several years.
Harmaa ei ole mitään ongelmia ollut nyt tämän jälkeen, kun tämä Novarpo on tullut käyttöön. Vaikka viime kesä oli tosi helteinen, niin saatiin silti pidettyä loukut kiinni. Että kyllä tosi tehokas jäähdytyskonsti on kyllä. Kyllä se pidentää satokautta sillä tavalla, että kasvit voi paremmin. Ne jaksaa kasvaa pidempään. Että siinä viime kasvustakin...
This grower is particularly innovative in that he is always trying new things, and he's the one who actually got very interested in the UVB concept for mildew control as well. We have been doing some research on whether UVB LEDs could be used for producing the UVB radiation, and well, they are very expensive at the moment, but he wasn't terrified by the expenses, so he wanted us to try something, but they are actually pretty expensive yet, so I don't think it's practical or economical at the moment to produce the UV with the LEDs.
Saadaan kyllä riittävä hiilidioksiditaso tällä konstilla. Kyllä, meidän kokemukset on hyvät, että tämä on niin kuin ihan merkittäviä sadollisia.
This system has been studied at the MTT Horticultural Research Institute as well, where its benefits have been shown. So it's not only the company research that has been put into it.
Johtuen just hyvästä hiilidioksiditasosta.
Okay, that's it about that then. But the big version is still also under development. So now, instead of the water just circulating from the greenhouse and removing heat and humidity, as the initial version was, now the new system of equipping it with the heat reuse system by using the heat pump that takes the heat from the circulating water is then transferred with the heat pump to heat storage and used in the greenhouse. So this is now being installed in one rather large greenhouse company near Turku. The grower has built 2,500 square meters of new greenhouse space for cucumber production, and he's planning to use the heat reuse system also in the rest of the area of the company. So I guess the idea is to put some more additional value in the system, and in so doing to justify the initial investment costs. So anyway, at the Novarpo pages you can also look for the details if you are more interested in it. So this humid away tower dryer system is now in the testing phase, and I think these details can also be found at the Novarpo pages if you are interested in them, to see what the efficacy is and what the payback time is. 2.5 years is claimed to be the payback time. And for further information, you have contact information in my talk, which I guess will be delivered to you at some point. So this is where we are now with the Novarpo dehumidifying system. New brand names have appeared. Another innovation that is under development at the MTT's Horticultural Research Institution and the Finnish Technological Research Center, they are collaborating, is the use of sphagnum moss as growth substrate instead of peat or rock wool. Why moss? Because, well, there are arguments against using peat. You destroy the bog, basically, when you harvest the peat from there. There are lots of bogs in Finland still that are not good for forest production and that are claimed not to be environmentally, how would I say, of value either. So these bogs can be used for harvesting the moss, the uppermost 20-30 centimeter layer of the moss. So the moss is used as the raw material in a sustainable way, at least in a more sustainable way than peat is used and harvested. It's also claimed to be or shown to be competitive price-wise with peat. So it fits the goals of the bioeconomy based production, which is the trend nowadays. So the idea is to produce, say, pots and growth substrate made of moss for seed germination, plant propagation, growing of tomatoes and cucumbers. And it's totally reusable, I mean compostable, it can be composted after use. So there's no waste coming from this material. How is it done? I couldn't find the English name for this procedure or the process, how it's done. Basically, the raw materials are mixed with water, so it gets foamy, and this material is then spread on a flat surface, and water is removed by way of mechanical pressure and evaporation. And what you get is something like this, kind of sheets of moss that you can form into the product that you want. And there has been also already research done using these growth substrates with cucumber particularly. So the crop yields have been shown to be comparable to those obtained in rock wool or peat. The MTT's horticultural research group has also been working on trying to improve nitrate management in lettuce. They have surveyed or find out the key factors that influence nitrate accumulation and concentration in lettuce. And there's, of course, a correlation with the light conditions. So basically, if there's scarcity of light and even short cloudy periods, so the nitrate concentrations tend to increase. You basically have to dynamically adjust the nitrate concentration of the fertigation water based on the amount of lights that the plants are receiving. They are really looking forward for collaborative research in this area. So this is just a message to deliver to you. They also developed a monitoring method for nitrate monitoring in lettuce for daily use. So more information if you need it on here, so Kari Jokinen is the person to contact. So this research was really a practical research where the goal was to help growers in an acute and ongoing problem. Well, then back to the yesterday's topic, using LEDs and specific light spectra to improve the biochemical contact of the crops. There's research going on both at MTT and the University of Oulu in Eastern Finland about using supplementary blue, particularly to influence the biochemical contents of tomato, herbs, and herbs. Tomato, basil, and parsley served as the first targets. So the group from Oulu University and University of Eastern Finland, they actually showed by using supplementary blue light compared to usual high-pressure sodium lamps. So they were either using blue LEDs only or giving blue as a supplementary treatment. They were able to show that you can increase certain secondary metabolites in the leaves of tomatoes and these herbs. And an interesting thing is that some of these secondary metabolites are also such that work as defense compounds against herbivores, such as chlorogenic acid, which is of course really interesting, against chewing pests particularly. So research like this is going on to add value to horticultural products. MTT's group has been working with blue supplementary lighting as well to increase the hyperine contents of tomato fruits. So by using blue, you can increase hyperin contents, and hyperin has several health effects in mammals. So they are actually looking for, interested in further collaboration in these topics. They also are doing basically the same as Jonas, was it yesterday, who told about regulating the poinsettias with different spectra. So they've done the same kind of thing. So, but the role of lead-based lighting in the production economy of cucumbers, they're pretty knowledgeable about that, but it still needs refining to make it better. And optimizing plant growth lighting in spring and fall conditions, that's a continuing work that should result in better production conditions in the future. Again, Kari Jokinen is the person to contact if you need more information or want to create collaboration. I guess I stop here really. This is just briefly to show the question. Somebody asked about these urban greenhouses. There is a project in the Österbotten area where they are building a communal greenhouse to serve as a showroom for clean tech innovations in greenhouse production. But this is at the concept level at the moment. But they are kind of putting it together, trying to use the intelligent ways of reducing energy consumption in greenhouse production and trying to bring it to neutral carbon-wise. There's more information on that. I put some addresses, website addresses there for those who use and know Finnish, maybe. Okay, that concludes my short advertising talk. Thank you.